what got you here won't get you there. And what am I talking about? Obviously, I'm John from Small Fish Business Coaching. This is a Toolbox tip video, right? And it's true to say that businesses require different things at the different stages of their existence. And the behavior from you and the work that you're doing and have done so far is not the work that's going to get you to the next stage or the next level. In my first job, this is an interesting story, the managing director who hired me, he got replaced after a year or so by someone better at managing directing. That's what they called it, right? And that meant systems and structure and being professional and dignified, right? The old guy was a great salesman, but he was a bit of a kind of a larrikin, right? And now the business was wanting to play with the big boys, the bigger companies, and he didn't fit the bill. So they swapped him out. It's apparently a common thing, right? Startup leaders don't do so well when their company gets bigger, and they often get replaced. You see it on the news, don't you? Look at Elon Musk, right? People like that, right? So it's a common thing, and it's true on a smaller scale as well for a trade business. You're probably not going to have the luxury of replacing yourself with an experienced general manager anytime soon, although you might, right? But you're definitely going to have to change the way you do things a bit if you want to grow your business to that magical next level. And who doesn't, right? When you started the business, your main focus was finding and winning work and doing it, wasn't it? Admin and managing the money and things sort of got fitted in around the edges, in the evenings maybe, or on the weekends. And this is how most businesses, most trade businesses start off, right? And then you start hiring people, tradespeople and apprentices maybe someone to help with admin, right? And you can't operate like that anymore. Or if you try to operate like that anymore, the cracks start to appear. You know, you end up working long hours, you end up very stressful, you've got your hands and everything. You're doing a lot of work, right? It's frustrating. Or you can be a bottleneck and you can find it hard to grow much further, right? When you're paying someone else to do the work, rather than doing it yourself, it matters a lot more that you get the quote right, doesn't it? If you're paying someone and they take longer than you allowed, you can go backwards very quickly. If there's no work for the business, when it's just you, it doesn't matter so much. You just make a bit less. But when you still have to pay your team, and maybe for vehicles and premises and all those overheads, having people standing around twiddling their thumbs with no work to do is really not good. So your focus needs to shift as you grow, right? And if you want to go to that next level, right? What you do with your week needs to change. Right? Instead of being closely involved with the sales and with doing jobs or staying close to jobs to make sure they go well, you have to step back a bit, like that. Not too far, that's important. Right? You have to focus a lot more on building systems and setting up structures for other people to use to do their jobs in your business, right? Rather than trying to do lots of things yourself, right? You have to let go a little bit. I'm fond of saying this, when you're on the tools, all you're really doing is saving your business $40 an hour, or even the money's in finding the work for other people to do. Now, of course, I'm referring specifically to being on the tools there, but the principle applies more broadly, right? You need to be not in the guts and not so much doing things, so much as setting up these systems and structures so other people can do things. I'll just qualify my statement quickly, right? You can't take a giant step back and completely change how you operate your business all at once. That would be problematic. Right? And that's probably an understatement, right? You have to do it a bit at a time, you have to do it in a controlled manner, right? But what systems and structures should you be building? Did I hear you ask? Well, I'm going to tell you, right? You need a flow of leads, don't you? Right? Leads means you can be confident. It means you be confident when you're selling and when some arsehole says you're too expensive. And it means you can be confident about hiring people and investing in your business. So you need to build a marketing machine to bring your business this lovely flow of leads, right? And what your marketing machine looks like will depend on what you do, who you do it for, and why you're good. Right? Get in touch if you want to discuss that in more detail, of course. I've probably written a guide somewhere. In fact, I have written a guide, so ask for that somewhere if you want, or set up a call and we'll have a proper conversation with a bit more detail. Now, once you've got leads, inquiries, or quote or tender opportunities or whatever, you need to turn them into jobs. Right? And if marketing is finding work, then sales is winning it, isn't it? So you need to build a sales machine to win the work. It needs to be professional and protect your margins. It needs to focus on why you're good and on building relationships and not just on providing a quote. Once you've won a job, somebody needs to do it, don't they? Or some people. Right? So you need to build an operations machine so other people, not you, can do the work to the right standard and on time and on budget, and without you having to be so closely involved helping. You need to get paid for the work you do, don't you? That's important, right? You need to pay everybody who needs paying. You need to do all the admin. You need to meet your compliance obligations. And you need to manage your money and keep a close eye on your profitability. And what we call that is building a back office machine to manage all that, right? Managing your money is very important, right? More so the bigger you grow. You should be profitable on every job, on every tradesperson, and every week or every month. So the final thing you need to attend to is your people, right? I'm talking about yourself, I'm talking about your team. You need to manage yourself so you focus on the right work, as I've been describing, and so you perform well, so you're effective and efficient and all that. And you need to manage your team so they perform well as well, right? You need, like the money management, this stuff becomes more important as your team grows. So if your business has grown and you do good work, you might have done the first part of growing your business properly, but it might now be time to change how you operate it and yourself and start focusing on these systems and these structures. If this is resonating for you, why don't you get in touch and we'll think about whether my program is what you need, is what you can use to help. It might be. See ya.